Shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and glory. It goes to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kradash. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakathum to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. It's Brother Taziyar Bayami from the GMS Kansas City Church. And today lesson is entitled, we have to lean on each other more. Lean on each other more, or tap in more. Just in the spirit of, becoming closer with brothers and, building more trust and more chemistry amongst each other. Now, we all know that we have agents amongst us, and we know that there's people with alternative agendas outside of making it to the kingdom of heaven in its truth. But those facts don't hinder brotherly love, man. And you can say, man, you in a 5-man camp. It's naturally y'all brothers is tight, because it's only 5 of us, which, to a certain extent is true. Being in a smaller camp, it's a more intimate experience as far as, being in a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80-man camp. That is true. But no matter how large or small your camp is, Yahawah Shai is requiring us to be more in tune. It's requiring us to be more tapped in, man. You see? Because, we about to enter into another hard period in the truth, man. Let's just be real. Because 2021, I don't want the wind fucking with the lesson, but 2021, 2022, those were some hard years in the truth, man. And these past couple years in the spirit, I wouldn't say it's been easier, but the Lord has been lightening the affliction on brothers. And we all know if the Lord works in seasons. So if this is kind of a relaxed season, we can expect these next couple years to be challenging. To be challenging, man. And so, with that being said, our number one tool against the wiles of the devil, is each other, man. Being able to have that communication with brothers, being able to have trust that, brothers sincerely want you to make it. Now, obviously, we all have to, scriptures say, work out our own salvation. But the Lord is tightening the body for a reason. He's getting rid of a lot of schisms. Exposing man's follies. And ultimately having it to where only the gold is gonna remain. For those who know about people who be sifting for gold, what you do, you dig it in the gravel, then you have a sifter, then you shake it, and the only thing that should remain is gold, man. And so that's what's happening. The Lord is making sure the gold stays, man. It's like you fucking idiots, man. But yeah, the Lord's making sure the gold stays. Not only is he making sure the gold stays, but he's not trying, but he's in the process of refining the gold, man. And we have to be able to lean on each other and tap in with each other more, because that's what's required of this, man. Like, if you're a brother doing the work by yourself, I'm not saying that you won't make it to the kingdom, but it's a harder task, man. Being real, it's a harder task. because sometimes you need to call a brother and be like, hey man, just listen to me vent. Sometimes you may need a brother to pull up and take some shots with you, and mourn a bit, sorrow a bit, but also build yourself up, give you that encouragement, give you that prep talk. Y'all know me, I like sports references, right? One thing in the NFL, what separates good teams from mediocre teams is their chemistry, man. And especially during the off season. You got two ways to go about the off season. You can bullshit, fuck these hoes, hit the club, party it up, do your own thing, or you can lock back in with your team, man. Lock back in with your team and keep training and keep trying to improve one another. Now that I've stopped, let's get some precepts. Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Exactly, man. Iron sharpeneth iron. And now we in a time of being on point in like a sword sense, when you got that sword, constantly trying to make it, sharp, so it'll thrust through. That's what we're doing on a spiritual level, man. Being in more communication with brothers, because like I say, smaller camps is, we have a certain level of familiarity to us because, it's only us. But even that, being more intimate, you ain't got to tell brothers your deepest, darkest secrets, but it's just about being available so that we can pick up on things that we may not have noticed on our, the everyday walks, So we say iron sharpeneth iron, so it's a man that sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. I want to get this. This is Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to sift you as wheat, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. Right. And so that's what we doing, man. We making sure that our faith does not fail, but also strengthening each other as brethren, man. You see, because let me get one more. Sometimes the precepts come in bunches, man. Sometimes the precepts come in bunches, brother. But this is Sirach chapter 6, verses 33. It says, my son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. If thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. If thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. It says, stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. So it say be willing to hear every godly discourse, man. That's why, we just trying to up our communication, man. Because as I got in the previous scriptures, those are the things that are going to, sharpen our iron, make sure our faith fail not, and strengthen our brethren. Because, being honest, it's coming to the time where we gonna learn more things off camera. As far as like dealing, moving circumspect, keeping the Lord first, leaning on the Lord. Whatever lessons we learn off camera, we try to recycle that into these lessons. So you sisters, or you sincere brothers and sisters can learn and listen and get edified. But as a prophets, we got to learn those things first for ourselves. We got to have a good understanding of those things ourselves, man. Because we about to enter the greatest test of our lives. We're about to enter the greatest test of our lives, man. And you will be a fool not to do everything that you can do to be prepared. You don't want Jacob Trouble. You don't want Jacob Trouble to come and wish you had done more. All right? You don't want Jacob Trouble to come and be like, man, I was bullshitting the whole time. Man, I wish I was around brothers more. Because what the scriptures say. One second. Yeah, Second Ezra. This is Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 27. And it says, Second Ezra 16 and 24, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. You see? So, yeah. We talking mass calamity to the point where you may not be around not only brothers, but just people in general, man. And so now we're using this preparation time to have those communications with each other to confirm that we all on point with the mission, man. Because it ain't guaranteed to be a group thing. You know? One day you may see brothers, and then you may not ever see brothers until the chariot comes. Are you built up enough for that? And that's not saying, I gotta be a lone wolf. It's gonna be a time where we ain't gonna see brothers, man. I just gotta do my own thing. I mean, yeah, you can go about that, but hey, prep yourself. See, prep yourself. We not too high and mighty to where we just ready for it. Because scriptures say Jacob Trouble is a time which has never came on the planet Earth before. And I'll be damned if I ain't stay in the gym. You know, it's like sometimes I can't help with these sports references, man. You know, the best players, the most skilled players are the ones that prepared. You know, so hey, spiritually we got to stay in that gym. You know, hey, if you like Dragon Ball Z, you got to stay in that hyperbolic time chamber, brother, which is the Akim. You know, because the Lord will up the pressure on us, but the only way that we can endure is relying on each other, the same way Vegeta and Trunks did. You know, Vegeta and Trunks, they was building each other up. Same thing we doing, man. But yeah, you know, just a lesson. Lord willing is edifying. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles. Double honors to the elders, a great millstone. Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, break a thumb to the old full leg. Shalom, shalom.